Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham Ha, Rocha Chodash, Ma'amath. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Banyasharala of the Lions Den Camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Shalom to the sincere Akim, pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lions Den Camp of Yasharala, located here in Jacksonville, Florida. And now today I'll be coming out with a lesson, and it's on another article by Time Magazine. It's about 5 hours ago, and it says Iran threatens to attack more U.S. military bases. You know, with that recent fiasco and what Babylon America did earlier. It says, and I'm gonna kind of edit this too, you know, as I'm speaking, just kind of get through it a little quicker. It says Supreme Leader Ayatollah Khamenei has warned that Iran would respond to any further U.S. attacks by targeting American military bases in the East, while declaring in the Middle East. I'll just say in the East, while declaring what he described as a total victory over Israel. This is the Islamic Republic slapped America in the face. It attacked one of the important American bases in the region, Khamenei said during his first televised remarks since a ceasefire was supposedly reached to end the 12-day conflict between Israel. On Monday, Tehran launched 19 ballistic missiles at Al-Udeid. I want to say Al-Udeid, but it ain't what they say. But Al-Udeid Air Base, a U.S. air base in Qatar. It says in response to an American attack on 3 nuclear programmed sites inside of Iran. They struck it inside of Iran. So Iran responded by attacking one of the air bases. It says all but one of the missiles were intercepted by air defenses. No American or Qatari people or personnel were injured. And it says such an action can be repeated in the future too, should any aggression occur. This is what the Ayatollah and Ayatollah Khamenei is saying. He says such an action can be repeated in the future too, should any aggression occur. The enemy will definitely pay a heavy price, the Ayatollah warned, adding Iran has access to key U.S. centers in the region. And that is very much true, because Babylon America want to have a whole bunch of bases all over the place, and most of them is over there in the East. So the fact that Babylon America has done this, the king of Babylon, President Trump, has done this foolishness, America is now in the target sites. But this is all according to the Heavenly Father and what he has already spoken and said to happen. Let's continue. It says the Iranian strike followed a major U.S. military operation on June 21st, in which American forces, Babylonian American forces, targeted 3 Iranian nuclear facilities. President Trump later claimed the attacks obliterated Iran's nuclear capability. However, leaked U.S. intelligence suggests that the damage to Iran's facilities of nuclear program may not be as severe as Trump alluded. CIA Director John Ratcliffe said on Wednesday that the sites had been severely damaged by the strikes, but short of the damage described by the president. It says Khamenei also criticized President Trump's call for the Islamic Republic's unconditional surrender, calling it unacceptable and illogical, of course. Early in the conflict, Trump suggested the possibility of regime change, and that's a tactic and a tool, a wicked, evil tool that Babylon America and Esau uses. Let's continue. I'm gonna just skip that because you know that was. But it says, but on Tuesday, en route to the NATO summit, Trump appeared to backtrack saying he would like to see everything calm down as quickly as possible, is what he told reporters. The conflict began after Israel attacked military nuclear facilities across Iran on June 13th, helping. It says unaliving, whatever. I don't like saying that, but we'll say, whatever. Helping key military and scientific personnel finish with all their living. It says, after the strikes, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu described Operation Rising Lion as an attack to roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's very survival, which is, he's been preaching that for over 30 years, and they're the main ones over there causing problems. But let's continue. It says, roll back the Iranian threat to Israel's survival, and that the goal of Israel's operation is to prevent nuclear and ballistic missile threats from Islamic regime. It says Khamenei told viewers on Thursday the U.S. had only interviewed because if it didn't, the Zionist regime would have completely been destroyed, claiming that Israel was practically knocked out and crushed under the blows of the Islamic Republic. And that was true. Like, they wouldn't, like, them 48 fakers over there was not looking for Iran to respond the way they responded, with the force that they responded with. Made that Iron Dome look like an aluminum foil dome. So yeah, and this is Iran saying it again, and Iran has always been a military state, and now Iran is standing up. And guess what? Like the bishop said, it only take one person to stand up to the bully and see that the bully can't fight, and guess what? Everybody else gonna start running up on the bully and getting their fade, and that's what's going on. Obviously, this must be Iran to be the first one to stand up to the bully, Babylon America. But let's get a few scriptures. Let's see. I'm gonna start at verse 41 of Jeremiah chapter 50. It says, "Behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth." That's talking about these nations being risen up by the Heavenly Father. To what? Read verse 22 of Jeremiah chapter 50. Rising up to the battle. Go to Joel. It says again, "Behold, a people shall come up from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth." Now, this is a judgment against ancient Babylon, but it is applicable to today's time too, and modern day Babylon, which is America. So, behold, a people shall come from the north, and a great nation, and many kings shall be raised up from the coasts of the earth. That's these other nations. They're getting ready. Everybody's getting ready. They're building up. They're standing up. Because the sound of battle is in the land, and of a great destruction. It says, "They shall hold the bow and the lance. They are cruel and will not show mercy. Their voice shall roar like the sea. And they shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array, like a man to the battle against thee, O daughter of Babylon." These nations coming up against this place, rising up, and you're going to go to the ultimate destruction of this place as well. Those ICBMs that's going to strike this place. Those are going to rise up. Their voice is going to roar like the sea. Meaning they're going to be loud. Those missiles are going to be loud when they come from in the heavens and come down on the earth. They ain't going to be quiet. It's going to be loud. You're going to hear them coming. People going to see them coming, It says, "They shall ride upon horses, everyone put in array like a man to the battle." Meaning you could use these missiles, those ICBMs, like the Lord is going to use to judge this place. That's how these missiles are going to move. But it's talking about here, it's talking about a nation and other kings with this nation rising up to do battle, to fight against this place. But you can also liken it unto the weapons of the Lord's indignation, the ICBMs that are clearly being developed before the very eyes of the world. But a lot of people are trying to turn a deaf ear, or trying to, should I say, a blind eye as well. But these nations are going to come against this place. Verse 43, the king of Babylon hath heard the report of them, and his hands waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. So the king of Babylon has heard this report, meaning who's the king of Babylon right now in this day and age? Trump. And he has heard the report. So now guess what? When they do interviews and reports and stuff like that, he's boasting and bragging on one hand, and then on the next he's recanting and backpedaling on what he said before. Inflating inflating points or certain phrases that he's saying, and then on the back end it's a totally different story. Well, the back end is the truth of it, and these devils are bothered by the fact that Iran is now like, okay, well, since you want to mess with us. So the king of Babylon done heard the report, and his hands are waxed feeble. This devil is afraid, man. When they get real, what you think Donald Trump finna do? He ain't finna go down with the ship. He gonna run to his little bunker and get cooked like a roast, a nasty, disgusting pork roast, when the Lord bring destruction to this place. But his hands are waxed feeble. Anguish took hold of him, and pangs as of a woman in travail. I mean, they gonna be scared, man. When it really get down to it, these leaders, especially the king of Babylon, he's gonna be afraid. He's gonna be one of the main ones, run to a bunker. And the fact that, again, these nations, especially Iran in particular, which is gonna start a cascading effect or a domino effect, other nations gonna start rising up. What they don't even understand with this recent fiasco, guess what? That they don't even, this devil don't even know he getting Korea hyped up, because they just started developing even more. There's an article that I read, when I glanced through it. I didn't really read it. I just kind of glanced through some of the main points of it. This here with this here spat, it's just getting nations like Korea even more riled up, getting hyped. But even with this news, it is making this devil afraid. I'm going to read this last point. Well, I'm going to jump down to verse 45. It says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he hath taken against Babylon, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So this is the counsel that the Lord has taken up against this devil, taken up against the king of Babylon, against this place, the kingdom. The purpose that the Lord has purposed against this place is a purpose of judgment and destruction in the land of the Chaldeans, i.e. Babylon, America, also known as Edom. Because Edom is the problem over there in the east. Those 48 fakers, they the problem. Give a flying flip phone who like it or whatever. F your stupid algorithms and your trigger words. That's the truth. They been causing ruckus. This devil been causing ruckus on the earth. And it's time, guess what? For the Lord to step in, and he gonna step in, and he gonna put a cease to this devil and his wickedness in the earth. And this is the counsel, this is the purpose that the Lord has purposed against this devil and his land, or his kingdom, his machine that he has built to conquer and to ruin the four corners of the earth. It says, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. And them 48 fakers over there, they're the least of the flock. And they done drew America right on into this war. So, and in that, guess what? The Lord is going to make these devils and their habitation desolate with them. He's going to judge them. He's going to destroy them. We're seeing the precursors of what is to come. It's only going to get worse. I'm going to read verse 46, and that's the last one. It says, at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved, and the cry is heard among the nations. So at the noise of the taking of Babylon, the earth is moved. It is not the earth is going to reel to and fro like a drunkard out of its place when the Lord hit this place with those weapons of indignation, which is going to cause a whole plethora of other effects and problems, added effects from weather anomalies and plus, yeah. And guess what? It says the earth is moved and the cry is heard among the nations. Meaning people are going to know when this place gets destroyed. The nations are going to know when the Lord really put the boom on this place, pun intended. You can only do evil and wicked for so long for the Lord be like, okay, you won't change, you won't turn back from it, so now I'm going to destroy you with that same wickedness. Well, I'm going to allow your wickedness to destroy you, but it's really the Heavenly Father's will that this devil be destroyed. Period. We've seen what the earth looks like and how it is ran in wickedness. It is now time for righteousness and truth to run the earth. And I can bet you bottom dollar the world is going to be a very, very beautiful place in that time. But right now, this is what we have. But yeah, just a little article in a few scriptures. Iran is threatening to attack more U.S. military bases if there is any further tomfoolery from Babylon America. And with that, shalom.